Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast. My name is Henry Lawrence, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to control your focus and create the life that you desire. Make sure to stay tuned to the very end because we're going to take a deep, healing, meditative breath to help us align on this message and move forward throughout the day. So, you may have heard the saying that what you focus on expands. This is incredibly true. You see, what you're paying attention to will be your experience. So if you are having negative thoughts and you are giving them your attention, that will create the experience that you're having because what you're experiencing is perspective. You are going through life, but your perspective on it dictates your experience. Your focus is what your experience is, and you can control your focus. It's not fair, it's not simple, it's not the same for everybody. So once you accept those as the truth and say, okay, well, this isn't going to be fair. It may not be easy compared to that person. It may not be my natural state compared to that person. It may not be what I grew up with. It may not be what I natively want to do, but I can still control it. In fact, it doesn't matter if it's easy or harder, it's just your journey. You can decide, well, you know what? It's easier for them to be more positive, so I'm going to be negative. You don't understand. You don't understand how hard it is for me. Because that can be true. Maybe I don't understand how hard it is for you. Maybe someone else doesn't understand. Maybe life is completely unfair to you. That doesn't mean you don't have the power. In fact, it doesn't mean that you might be more powerful than me. Imagine if you're this being that wants this experience, that wants to grow, that wants to be strong, well, then you would create a life similar to yours, where the shift into the love energy is difficult because you want to become that powerful. Think about weight training. If you lift 100 pounds, and that's the most you can lift, it's very difficult. But if you train and you train and you train, and then eventually you're lifting 500 pounds, it's going to feel like the same difficulty. But that person that could only lift 100 cannot all of a sudden lift to 500. But you, through training, became this powerful being that could now lift 500 pounds. The same is true with your mindset. So, what if you're not meant to just lift 100? What if you're here with a destiny to lift 500 so that you can lead people because your understanding of positive focus will be so much stronger than somebody else's that just had it easy? It's not fair. It doesn't need to be. It needs to be known that what you focus on will expand. If you're having negative thoughts because bad things are happening, that can be true. It can also be true that you don't have to give that your focus. And so the people that object to this, the people that have a problem with this, they're going to say, yeah, but you don't understand. I think about positive things, but then I go to work and my boss is a jerk. You don't understand. I think about positive things, but then so and so does this. I think about positive things and the economy does this. The news says this. The weather does this. They give the power to something else. You have to understand it's not about controlling the external world. That is going to be. Yes, you can navigate and create a life and all those things can happen, but ultimately the earth, this life is undefeated. You will die eventually. You will not win the earth. But your spirit, your soul, you can win, if that's the right word, it. You can get in control with it. You can find love with it. And when you stop caring so much about what's going to happen externally, all of a sudden you start to find a peace internally. Again, it doesn't mean all or nothing, meaning, okay, well, I'll have peace within, but then I'm going to live homeless on the street. No, you can create a positive life. You can create money. In fact, what we're talking about is exactly that. When you start focusing on your money, not the lack of it, but how to expand it, you will expand it. If every day you wake up and you look at your bank account, and then you visualize where you want it to go, and then you think, okay, if I do these steps, it will get me here. And then you visualize yourself doing the steps. And then you do the steps, you will lead yourself to there. Because the first step, analyzing how to grow money, means you're going to pay attention to ways to grow money. You're going to read books on how to grow money. You're going to talk to people that know how to grow money. You're going to put yourself in situations with others that know how to grow money. And then you're going to think the thoughts of people that are wealthy, right? How to save, where to invest, how to get your money to work for you. And then you're going to do the steps. And so you will create more money, but it's taking a lot of your focus to do that. The same is true with the positive mindset. If you want to visualize and have a positive experience, get around somebody that's positive and don't push against the way they think. Try to understand why they think that way. It doesn't mean that one person thinks right and everyone else is wrong. There are many ways to see a positive thing. But try to understand, okay, if they're feeling good If they're right within, if they're positive in this situation, how are they viewing it? And then look at someone else's. Read some books, listen to some podcasts, and then do the work over and over. When that overwhelms your experience and focus, you will then start to process that way more naturally. That's how it will flow. Your focus, where it goes, your experience follows. So if you are going through something bad that takes your focus, that will create it even larger in your life. If you lose your job and then focus on everything that you've lost, that will expand your experience. And you might think, well, I know such and such, and they're so negative, yet they're a money magnet and they make all this money, or they do this and they do that. Like, you see all these reasons as to why it won't be true for you. And that is still proving the point. If you see things that mean or will prove to you why it won't be true for you, guess what your experience will be? A life where it's not true for you. If you believe you can win, read how to win, listen how to win, put you around people that are winning, and just by winning, I mean succeeding in what it is they desire, then that will become your experience. It doesn't matter how big the hill is because none of that's existent. Truthfully, when it comes to energy, difficulty is not a thing. Belief is the thing. Your degree of belief actually trumps any kind of difficulty. You can come from nothing and become the most wealthiest person on the planet. You can come from nothing and be the most positive person on the planet. You can come from nothing and be well within compared to anybody on the planet. Your internal state is in your control. And I know it's hard because there are so many reasons as to why that shouldn't be true. It's a lot easier to say, you know what, I can't be positive at work. It's a terrible job. My boss is terrible. I don't get paid well. I should have got a degree in this. I started too late. I'm not young anymore. I don't have as much experience. They don't like me because of X. You can make that all your reality and find the truth in it because the truth is everything exists at once. The reason why you can't exists just as much as the reason that you can. Your perspective is the dictator on what's going to happen. You can raise it, you can lower it. When you raise it, meaning when it gets harder to do the thing, that means you're in growth mode. When it gets easier, that means you're in retract mode. You're going back to what you've been. And if what your life has been is not what you want, that comfort is the killer. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath. And when you breathe in, I want you to pick the energy that you desire. If you want to step into that wealth, just in your mind, just wealth, wealth, wealth as you're breathing in. If you want to step into joy in your mind, joy, 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 whatever it is that you want, as you breathe in, say it over and over and over. As you hold your breath, visualize a montage of you living in that example. Operating in abundance, thinking in abundance, speaking in abundance, saving in abundance, whatever it is, visualize it all happening for you. And then as you exhale, allow anything that no longer resonates with you to leave you so you can move forward in that energy. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. It's hard to know. It's something we really don't want to know, that we have control of our experience. It's so much easier to say, what the doctor says this, but my diagnosis is this. Yes, those are reasons, and yes, those can affect you, but your spirit is stronger than anything in this physical world. People have overcome bigger things. It's not that they're better than you. It's just that's the experience that they created for themselves, and you can do the same. And once you know that, rise up and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on whatever it is that you're going through. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It'll keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. Well, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.